Hello and welcome to Galaxy News. My name is Nenwar Yamazaka. I'll begin with the headlines. President Bola Tinubu presides over the National Council of State meeting at the Presidential Villa. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, unveils Nigeria's focus on technology-enhanced learning for students in Nigeria. On a foreign scene, Mpox is being declared as a public health emergency in Africa. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. Do stay with us. And now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu will on Wednesday, August 14, depart Abuja for Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, on a three-day official visit to honor the invitation of President Teodoro Mbasogo. In a statement issued on Tuesday, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity Ajuri Ngelale said President Tinubu will meet with the Equatorial Guinean President at the Presidential Villa on arrival, where meetings will be held between the two leaders and agreements, particularly on oil and gas and security, signed. Ngelale said the president will be accompanied on the trip by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, and other members of his cabinet who will be involved in the signing of agreement and review of opportunities to improve bilateral relations. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu presided over the National Council of State meeting at the Presidential Villa. The meeting, which just kicked off a few minutes, is Tinubu's first Council of State meeting, which is hosted since his own in office as president. Those expected to attend the meeting are former Chief Justice of the Federation, all even former President and past heads of state. As at the time of filing this report, past President cited former President Goodluck Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari, while Abdulsalami Abubakar and former Head of State Yakubu Gowon joined virtually. Correspondent in Abuja reports that top on the agenda of the first meeting in the current administration is the fallout of the hashtag End Bad Governance protest, which took place from August 1st and later fizzled out, although it was planned to be a 10-day street demonstrations. Abuja reports that beyond the recent protest, 7 ministers of the Tinubu administrations are also billed to make presentations to the council. While the ministers are not members, they have been specifically invited by the president to make the presentation. Now speaking on the meeting, we have Dr. Samuel Ishenaike, who is an economist, and he is joining us live from Delta State. Thank you so much for being part of the news at this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so President Tinubu held a National State Council meeting today, and there are lots of expectations Nigerians have, especially for the economy. What do you think about the meeting to start with?
Well, the meeting is coming out at a very crucial time in the life of this nation, our country, Nigeria. The Organization of Civil Rights, they just organized a 10-day hunger strike, which was very effective in some part of the country, and the hashtag is that End Bad Governance. So I think this meeting, being the first in the life of this government, should take a critical look at the state of the economy of the country today, because it's a notorious fact that the people are hungry, that the masses are suffering. So it takes the responsibility of the government to cater for the welfare of the people and to protect their life. So this meeting must come out with policy direction that will show Nigerians that this government is ready to fulfill that constitutional provision that they should take care of the welfare of the people. Thank you.
All right, so there are lots of personalities in the meeting, including past presidents of the nation. Do you think they would be able to convey the problems of the country adequately to the president?
Of course, I believe that the personalities attending the meeting, especially General Abubakar Salami, who is attending the meeting virtually, General Gowon, who is also attending the meeting virtually, uh, President Jonathan is there. I'm sure these people have the political will to tell the president the truth about the state of the nation and for the president to also begin to review his policies so that this country can move forward. I have confidence that this meeting will come out with policies that will redirect the economy of this country.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
finally, what advice would you give to the government regarding rejigging the economy?
It is very obvious that when this government came into power on May 29, without looking properly, without looking at the transmission mechanism of the economy, remove the fuel subsidy on Fiat on May 29, 2023. Of course, there are certain things, in as much as we are not against the removal of the fuel subsidy, there are certain preconditions that the government is supposed to have put in place before the removal of the fuel subsidy. Because ordinarily, as an economist, and by the way the economy works, the transmission mechanism shows that inflation must go up, there will be unemployment, and such and so forth. So the government was supposed to have put mechanism in place that will serve as a palliative for this burden when they come up. But the government didn't think about anything and they just removed it by fiat. And that is why you see that the people are suffering. The saying is that it's better delayed than ever. The president can still review his policy and go back to the drawing board and review some of the things. Well, as a system analyst, there's nothing wrong for you to go forward and backward. It is a kind of input output. When you discover that you have imputed certain things and the output is not the outcome you expected, you can go back and review your input so that you can get what you expected. So I expect the government of President Bola Tinubu to go back and look at those things that he was supposed to put in place before the removal of the fuel subsidy. For example, what is in place for transportation? Because it is obvious that when you remove fuel subsidy, prices of fuel will go up, and that by implication, prices of transportation will go up. And as prices of transportation is going up, prices of food will also be going up. We are very unlucky in this country that most of our food items are transported through road, through vehicles that are either using fuel or using gas. So that is why we see that even the most affected sector by inflation is the food. So the government can still go back and
All
look at the
right.
transport system. How can they ameliorate the transport system? Well, I know that the government is talking about CNG buses, but from the figures we are hearing, the CNG buses that they are providing is too minimal to cope with over 200 million. What I've said, there's still for this government to rejig its policies.
All right. All right, so
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. That was Dr. Samuel Shenaike, an economist, and he joined us live from Delta State. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And God bless
All
you.
right, so now back to the news. The Ministry of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, has unveiled Nigeria's new direction in education, focusing on technology-enhanced learning to foster critical thinking and creativity in students. During a tour to the FCT Smart School in Kershi alongside The Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu in Abuja, emphasized the government's vision for a digitalized school system, integrating personal learning and technology from kindergarten to university level. The minister highlighted the unique features of the smart schools, including interactive learning for toddlers, teacher involvement in content development, combination of conventional and vocational education, emphasis on Nigerian values and national curriculum. He also addressed security concerns, stating that elaborate arrangements are in place, including armed and unarmed guards, community engagement, and strong synergy with host communities.
This government is delivering to Nigeria, which is to make provision to allow for a digitalized, school system, and for people who are trained in the use of technology right from the beginning, from early child, as you have seen, early child education, right from here to primary school level to basic education.
Also speaking, the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Yusuf Sununu, announced the revocation of contract for smart school infrastructure in Kebbi and Bayelsa State, citing delays and the need to ensure no state is left behind in the technology-driven education initiative. He also decried the failure of some states whose smart schools have been completed and handed over to supply the federal government with 75 teachers to be trained so as to run the schools.
The FCT administration also to call on other governors to please emulate what is happening in the FCT. School has not been handed yet over to the FCT, but we have seen a lot of projects in order to expand the scope of the school. Hostels have been built and a lot is being done by FCT. We have states that we have already concluded and handed over those schools to those states who've been on their neck to please give us 75 teachers to be trained.
You're still on to Galaxy News. We'll quickly take a break and when we return, the news continues. Just stay with us. We're glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect to us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments. The Nigerian government is advised to be protective of local industries and invest well in them to elevate Nigeria from the position of a dumping ground to a production company. Galaxy's Iribami Salako tells us more on this subject in this report.
One of the problems that have always been highlighted for Nigeria to solve in order to achieve economic prosperity is production. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, in 2023, Nigeria's total foreign import stood at $45.95 billion. Since the country seemed to have started on the right note by patronizing a local manufacturer for assemblage of CNG buses, according to experts, here is what the country stands to gain if the federal government continues on this upward trajectory.
This value chain contributes an input that eventually sum up okay, to the manufacturer that produces the vehicle. So it will lead to wealth creation, and in fact, it will also lead to employment. Now, the more we empower the local manufacturers, the more the local manufacturer will employ more hands to be able to meet up with the requirements of others of those vehicles.
The point at which we're at right now is that we need to take advantage of the already existing infrastructure. The likes of Innosin, and then this new arrangement between Dangote and Peugeot Nigeria and some other local manufacturers, they're already on ground. They have their infrastructure on ground. So it's better to start from encouraging those ones.
Local manufacturers have often complained about lack of patronage from Nigerians who seem to have a taste for foreign goods. The federal government is advised to protect and subsidize production costs for local manufacturers to ensure patronage from Nigerians.
You can't easily tame the taste palette of people in terms of what they prefer, okay? You can only use suasion over time. So number one, the local industry, the local producers, they have to up their own game in terms of the quality of what they produce, one. Secondly, whether we like it or not, yes, we have all these international organizations that will tell you you should not be overprotective over your industries, but the truth is you can't afford to have an open economy. Open in the sense that you're not protecting your local industries. No government does that. China is heavily protective over the industry. In fact, what they do is they even subsidize the production of their local industries so that they can even compete better outside.
Now, beyond bringing down the cost of production, governments, again, can also provide some incentives to Nigerians using the new vehicle that the government has just established, the Consumer Credit Corporation, otherwise called the Credit Corp. Now, this is an initiative where Nigerians can borrow money, okay, to buy assets and pay back instrumentally.
Irebami Salako, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
A former special advisor to the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has been summoned by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC). Jimmy Lawal was invited over an alleged phony light rail project valued at 11 billion naira. It was learned that there was no contract filed for the implementation of the purported light rail project, where it was allegedly paid for in full. Although Lawal was scheduled to appear before ICPC team of investigators yesterday, he failed to show up and he was not represented. The anti-graft agency requested the Department of State Services, DSS, and the Nigerian Immigration Service to place the former advisor on watch list at airports, seaports and land borders. According to the commission, Lawal is being probed in connection with loans, which is foreign and domestic, obtained without following due process. The Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, has flagged off a 20-man ad hoc committee with the State Commissioner for Agriculture as a chairman to ensure transparent distribution of 24,000 bags of fertilizers donated by the federal government to selected farmers across the state. At a ceremony in Abeokuta, the state capital, the governor charged the committee members to ensure a high level of responsibility and transparency to bear on the distribution and ensure bounty harvest and food security. While commending the federal government for the gesture, he however announced the introduction of Back to Farm initiative with allocation of farmland to wheeling 10,000 youth to boost food production and food security.
The people of Ogun State that with agricultural sustainable at its core, this fertilizer initiative will not only facilitate the cultivation of crops, but also create opportunities, break barriers, and foster prosperity. I hope this will pave the way for a brighter future where every one of our youth potential flourishes.
And I'll move over to the foreign desk for more news. Hello and welcome to the foreign news. Mpox, the high infectious disease that used to be called monkeypox, has been declared a public health emergency in Africa by the continent's top health body. Scientists from the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say they are alarmed by the speed at which a new strand of Mpox has been spreading. Since the beginning of the year, more than 13,700 cases and 450 deaths has been recorded in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The virus, which can cause lichens across the whole body, has spread to all the African countries, including Burundi, the Central African Republic, Kenya, and Rwanda. The declaration of a public health emergency will help government coordinate their response and potentially increase the flow of medical supplies and aid into affected areas. Health Chief outside Africa will also be monitoring the situation to assess the risk of the outbreak spreading further. Now, for more update and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GalaxyTVNews. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Galaxy TV. You can also avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. If you have breaking news around you, simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 018-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comment. And that's all we have on Galaxy News. Thank you so much for being a part of the news. My name is Nenwarangi Mazaka. Do join us by 9 p.m. for more news. As for now, goodbye.
Don't do better today because if you do, I'm not